Well, a little bit of thing that I read suggests that the output's only created at the end of the process. I've been faffing around with this, so I tried just not abandoning it under those circumstances. I just stopped making the output file. One thing I'm reminded that I did need this v fatal, which is the log level. V is the alternative to log level. I needed that to make the thing work before, so I guess I maybe do need to play with the log level. My temp out is just not working, and I don't know why. Temp out, really, I just don't know why. I may as well just take them out. It's very annoying, that, but I mean, for now I am going to take them out. And I'm going to take out this sleep. I'm going to take out everything that I think shouldn't work if I rather do it that like, so it's not that I'm looking to see if the file's missing. It's when the file exists that I abandon, or I say this is done. What am I saying? It's like, if I'm right about this, then I don't say any of this. I don't open the thing at all. I just say done equals true. Now, if this, I don't think this is it. This is basically saying, the minute this file exists, we're done. I don't think that's right. I have a funny feeling that file exists and is getting added to continually. In fact, I'm almost certain of it. But I'm going to give this a go. I can build in a sort of error checking that I can give it a timeout. Well, nah, I mean, I'm going to give this a go. I'm not expecting great things. I'm just building it on debug all the time now to save me switching between debug and here. I won't need any of these. Oh, no. Render is what I want to compile. And in here, these are what I will not need. This is the new render, and now I compile main. I just don't think this is right. I think that if I make a longer video, one that's going to take longer to render for ffmpeg, it will just cease to work. But let's see, 10 frames. I need to improve this GUI now. 7 recursions, 1 loop. Make it 2 loops. Just give it a bit more work to do. More work for the video render, that is. More frames, fewer recursions would also mean more work for the video render. But as it is, let's just go for it. Rendering begun. Render update is created. Rendering animation. 0. Okay. What am I expecting to happen here? I honestly don't know. I don't think this thing about how the file is only created once it's done is right. I'm sure that I've run this in the past. I did put in vfatal there as well. Gosh. I shouldn't change more than one thing at once, should I? ffmpeg begun, recursor anim has appeared. No sign of that file. Recursor anim still 0. Where is my task manager? Nope. It's not doing it. Our render's sitting there working away, but it's not doing anything. ffmpeg did start. And it created a single thing. It never got anywhere else. This is weirdly pleasing. No. I can't remember. I think maybe made render a console application. Maybe. Doesn't really need to be either, don't think. 8. Now I need to keep my eyes open. ffmpeg begun. You lie. You just lie. It's not there. vfatal. I'm telling it to be fatal with vfatal. But it's not there. Okay. I probably don't need to close this, do I? I think I will, because it's the only way I can be sure of stopping our render. Well, that didn't work. It did say it had begun, but this didn't do what I wanted it to do. I don't think this will make any difference, but you know, in fact I'm sure it won't. But I can't help just doing a quick little recompile. And I suppose that the other thing that I can do is I can look at other log levels and see what on earth difference they make. I am so sure that if I was to run the command that I get out of this animation, okay, there is our render. Cursor anim is the old one. Oh. I will maybe have to start thinking about my other options, which is an absolute pest. ffmpeg begun? No, it hasn't. ffmpeg has not begun. You say it's all this, but I dispute that, because if I go to here, I probably don't need to do this, but for the sake of it, I go there, and I say do that. Look at it, made. ffmpeg out existed before the animation was finished. It contains nothing. Stream loop 1. I don't remember that being the number, but anyway, I'll see when I relaunch the app. And this basically works. Looks awful, but that's fine. Why did this run? It doesn't matter that my logic is basically broken for this. Why was this alright? Running from the command line, but not alright when I attempted to launch it as a process. And what happens when I try different outs? Let's see. ffmpeg log levels. I know this will not help. This is not going to take me to log levels, it's just going to take me straight to the top of the page. I know this is going to take me. Repeated log output effect. I'm sitting here reading this. Okay, FM, right. Quiet, panic, fatal error, warning, info, verbose, debug, trace. Well, I guess I'll just have a go at some of those. This is quite annoying, to say the least, having to do this. So control left and right. Well, think. I should have deleted this first. Okay, so bunch of info. This time I will delete it. So you do that again. There it is. Okay, so it appears. What's another option? Info. Under cursor anim can go away as well. Up it pops within a moment. Cursor anim's there. It pops up, but it says it's 0k. And then it only kind of fills it in at the end. And it's giving info, and it's always ending with this line about some stuff and KB/S. Right, I want to try and get this running at all from inside, because this works, like that command simply works. It makes a real nice horrible animation. And it looks like I could use, well, quiet. And once again I'll delete this, and I will delete this. And just say, do it quiet. Again within a moment. But again, it's a text document with 0k. Still a text document with 0k. Quiet is real quiet, okay? Try it like a warning. And once again, just delete these. There in a moment. Staying at 0k until it's finished. Then a few moments later it's still 0k and it's still empty. Right, well, I'm seeing a pattern, obviously. Well, I don't know if any of these are better or worse than any other. Quiet was nothing. Panic. Fatal gave nothing. Error and warning, these were nothing. Info, verbose, debug, trace. I will try trace. Oops. Hopefully that's at 0, yes. And the VLC file's at 0. It works away. VLC, and this becomes 19k. And trace gives all this, and again ends with a kbps. It's actually quite a lot more info. Okay, I'm going to have one more think about this. So trace seemed like a bit much. Verbose, I think info. Warning, error, fatal, panic, quiet. I don't think I need verbose. I don't think I need trace. I think info is fine. If only I could get the thing to run. One more little look at that. The cursor now appears, disappears at 0k. If this is the totally reliable pattern that it creates the document but it's got 0k, and that's 5k, and it just looks. And it always ends with that. So I mean, if I find myself looking for the end of it, then okay, well, I'm going to remove these things from this directory again, because I'm going to once again come back here, and this is going to get recompiled. This I will make into info. This is just what I used, so it should be okay. I can hardly believe I'm having to do this, but everything goes from here. Now it just sleeps. Sleep. Just sleep, yeah. Put yourself to sleep and see if ffmpeg will run. I wonder if there's some... I just don't know. Okay, well, let's do this process. I'm just going to move it in this time. Now, back to main and onward. It's been almost another half hour just going around in these circles, trying to find out what on earth ffmpeg is doing. Okay, me bud. Go for it. I'm wondering if ffmpeg should actually start sort of... Oh. I'm going over it in my mind. I cannot think. Oh, there it was. It was there for a moment. It was there for a moment. Why did it disappear so fast? This is a problem I had before, and it is... What's it to do with? I think that appeared as a child of main. I'm going to take this all the way down to 2. I'm going to take recursions down. missed it. And I don't think it actually even started. Okay, start this again. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to check, I don't know. I'm just going to keep my eyes straight here. I'm looking for where ffmpeg appears. It said it's begun, and I didn't see it appear. There's no damn sign. Absolutely no sign of it. That was created right now when I did that. Back out, Y, info, stream loop 1, input this. This is the name for it, and this is where the output goes. Why? I'm so frustrated because I know this command does exactly what I want it to do. Like, it does exactly. It's just that when it runs from here, it does not. And I can't figure out why. I was doing the same thing from main. And I just don't know what the problem is. The only thing that I can think is, well, I can't think anything very sensible. Our render is a console thing. I'm going to stick it into release mode. No, I'm not. That won't make any difference. How can that make a difference? Come on then. Okay. Let me see. 0. It's just not there. I didn't see it at all. Rendering didn't begun. Well, it did begun, but then it just came to an instant halt. Why? When I know that if I was to execute this, it would do exactly what I want, or, well, execute this. I bet I could just, without even There's the information. There's the pointless animation. Yeah, not much there, but maybe it didn't really like that. Anyway, it did pretty much what I asked it to. Yeah, only 2 frames and very dark. So yeah, it did what I asked it to. From the command prompt. It wouldn't do what I asked it to. In here. The difference is fatal. The difference is directing the output. It's like, can I make it run at all? Like if I say fatal and I say, yeah, don't bother with that bit. Sorry. Then that's pretty much the state it was in before. Fatal is in a different position, the word fatal. So no. Wait. Right. Okay, that's not really a thing. What happens if I demand another? I saw ffmpeg there. It created the animation. It did not produce the output. That's not a surprise. I bloody didn't ask it to produce the output. So everything basically about that worked except any way in which I can sort of figure out if ffmpeg has actually completed. Well, okay, I mean, I don't know, in some ways I feel like that's progress. It's like, obviously, like what if I now, that is pretty weird, like that does suggest something is wrong with that. if I say this back to a -1, that's probably a bad idea. Let's make it like 10 or something. 5 recursions, 10 frames, 2 video loops. Make that for me. Actually cancel it, just because I'll bump this up to 5. Make that for me, yes. Rendering animation, animation frame 0, 1. It's quite long. How can I get ffmpeg? Well, what I was going to say is I can still, because I'm doing this periodic test in our render, this little periodic sort of, well, what I'm really saying is that inside that loop where I'm pausing for a second, supposedly every time, ffmpeg running 28%, child of main, maybe that's normal, 30%. ffmpeg done. Cursor anim in existence. Looking fab. So basically that is basically working. I just need to figure out a way for my render without any other information. Well, here's one thing I can do. Is I can come at this just now. I will recompile it in a second. I can look at vidrender, I suppose. I can do something like render. I don't think this is going to render update string of vid render exit code. What is an exit code? I don't know, but we're going to see what vidrender's exit code is. Oh, no, we're not. Oh yeah, we are. That's the way to do it. These things, once again, can go. And this can go in. And back to this. So now, I'm looking in my little blue status bar, and I'm looking for any change, or see what the actual readout of this exit code thing is. Did it keep what I want? Yeah, because it gave me I want it to render a decent sized animation so that I get a chance to see some things up here. Oh, I suppose I could just render fewer iterations, fewer recursions and fewer frames, more loops, but hey ho. I'm trying to figure out if it's some sort of problem that the pair of these processes are both children of main. I don't know. There's ffmpeg working. -1. -1. ffmpeg still working at -1. Work. And 0. Check it out, boyo. Okay. Okay. So, I think that that's my answer. Wow, if that works, that's wow, that is wow. So I don't need any of that rubbish in here. What I actually do is this. I say if vid render exit code equals -1, else end render update ffmpeg render complete. And in here I will say ffmpeg rendering to, do I have just stuff up here which is like name plus mp4? Well, it's name plus extension. I do want to build in something that allows you to select what type of extension. And for the time being, I'm going to make it here. Local vid extension string equals .mp4. Plus vid extension. So I just need a rendering to plus name plus vid extension. Okay. ffmpeg render complete and done is true. Now, when this code, rrender, goes into this state, what I'm hoping is that in the task manager I see it taking up basically no time, or very, very little. So, all of this can go away again. And this can come back. And this can be recompiled. So, have I, oh gosh, 45 minutes, another 45 minutes. Let's just grit our teeth here. And let's say 10 loops, 15 loops, yeah, but only 5 frames. 5 recursions I guess will be okay, and I'll make this down to 5 to make it all a bit brighter. And let's go for it, baby. Rendering begun. Rendering animation. Anim frame. ffmpeg now running. ffmpeg rendering to recursor anim mp4. That is an accurate statement. and I can see ffmpeg running in the task manager. Work, my little beauty. Work, my little beauty. And also I see that this is at 0. Main is at 7.2, but this is rendering the whole thing every time. That's okay. As long as render is basically doing nothing, and render complete. This should disappear in a few seconds. And there it goes. Main is the only thing running. The cursor animation is an actual beautiful, beautiful animation, obviously. This is apparently ready to go into another. So what I'll do is I'll take recursions down to 4. Say, give me a static. Rendering single image. This bit takes a long time. But apparently render complete. Render complete. Now give me an animation. Rendering animation. The thing has disappeared. I don't like that when it does that, but it did do that before. What do I have here? Render update. Anim frame 0, 1, 2. These are taking a long time, but the render is also our render is also compiled with the rendering to the cursor anim 4. 15 loops of it, and it's still gone from here. That really does distress me quite a lot. I am going to build in a small text-based animation here. This is all still working. Just says rendering, rendering. I can tell something's going on because the CPU is still at 100% and only 45% of it's committed to recording this fiasco. And recursor anim's still at 0. Oh, my heart. Come on, you can do it. Render complete. Main's popped back because I guess it's a bit of information. Got updated, and there it goes. And there is recursor anim. Oh my goodness me. Okay, where are we at? 50 minutes. I think that I'm going to call that a video. When I come back, what I will do, this is apparently working. A bit nicer than it was before, actually, quite a bit nicer. Well, much nicer in lots of ways, but even anyway. When I come back, I will improve the message readout so that it animates on a second-to-second basis. I will make I'll make the animation renderer clean up after itself so that all of those frames of animation are removed, and I will put some logging options in, and maybe now is the time to build the further video options into the GUI, into the editor itself, like whether or not, I think I might offer standard or high quality, so you get a lossless quality video if you want, or standard just MP4s as I've been making. Offer the option to not remove the images that get generated if you want to keep them. And that's probably it. I'll make them. I could offer the option to save the render log, or I could just save the render log alongside every render. Anyway, I'm basically very pleased that this is apparently working, and so maybe I will just render it doing something else and be overjoyed. I don't like the fact it pops off. I'm sure that's some sort of glitch with Task Manager because every other aspect of it seems to be working. And this is kind of beautiful. Kind of beautiful. That this is working and that ffmpeg begun, ffmpeg rendering to recursor anim 4. Thanks, ffmpeg. I will just wait until it's done the end of this. I'll quickly run the animation. Then there is some other testing to do. Actually, I need to make sure that the OpenGL style parts of rendering inside the external render executable, they also work, because at the moment I'm not making any use of any part of OpenGL. So I'll just wait a few moments patiently and kind of delightedly, honestly. It's pretty damn nice that it seems to be working. And also, if I wait a few moments and if main does pop back into my list of active applications here, I'll be able to just look and see that it's basically still occupying whatever it be, 40 to 50 megabytes. There it is, 42 megabytes, render complete. 10 seconds is maybe too long, and also I think having it fade out would be nice. Beautiful, beautiful results. So, cleaning up some of that code and making some improvements.